awesome. So what we're going to cover today, so just do a little bit of like a high level around why SMS, like why is everyone talking about text messaging for e-commerce? We'll get into building your list, which is arguably the most important thing in any sort of marketing. And then we'll talk a little bit about just like a handful of ideas on text messages that you could be sending to enhance sales over Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And like I said, we'll leave some time for Q&A at the end too. So I'm Ben. For those that are new, I'm the founder and CEO of Privy. I live outside of Boston. I've got an amazing wife and 2 great daughters. And my favorite thing is to help all of you. You can see a couple logos behind me. Those are my parents' small businesses, my wife's, and that's what I know and grew up with, and that's why we do what we do. So let's talk about like the elephant in the room. I think I've kind of seen a handful of marketing trends over the last 10 years since I've been working on Privy. And whenever there's a new channel that comes up, a lot of us as business owners, we say, oh, well, I don't want that. Like, isn't that annoying? You know? And I think like that happened when we were first focused on pop-ups and list growth and all that stuff. And that was what all my customers used to say to me. And what we used to kind of get people comfortable was data, right? So A, the data of how well pop-ups worked at the time. And B, like the sign-up rates, the fact that customers were signing up for these things. And I think the same thing is happening around text. So we're now part of Attentive, a much bigger company that's focused entirely on SMS. I think they're one of the best in the industry. And they do a ton of customer surveys and consumer sentiment. And what they've found is that customers actually want to hear from brands through text, right? So like, that's not BS. That's very clear. I think, people expect to hear a few times a month from brands through text. You can see here, 42% said 4 to 6 times a month. They'd be interested in getting text from a brand. 40% said 2 to 3 times a week, right? And almost 20% said once a day. So I think your customers want to hear from you. And if you look at where customers are spending their time most these days, it's on text message. And, if you don't believe the surveys, here's a screenshot of my cell phone. I don't know. Can everyone see this okay? Jess, can you see this okay?
Just when I hit the space button.
Oh. This is a screenshot from my cell phone. Okay. So I've got about 604,000 emails that are unread, and I have 0 unread text messages. And that is real. There's no BS here. That's actually my phone. Like, I read every single text message that comes in. That's not the truth about email, right? It's easy to delete email or miss it, etc. So just a little bit of what's happening. So what about the results of SMS? I think that's why we're all here. We're curious. We've got a couple stats here from different sources that we trust. But the first thing I want to call out is open rates around SMS. 97%. That is a very common open rate that we've seen for SMS, right? Versus like if you look at your average open rates for an email, the industry benchmark's about 20%. And then pretty much every marketer that is sending SMS recognizes that it's driving more revenue for them, right? So people view SMS as a revenue channel. And there's a 250% increase in terms of engagement that you can see when you're using email and SMS together versus just email. And that's our belief, right? I love email. I'm an email guy. I've spent 10 years in email. I think there's no better feeling than like clicking send on an email and being like getting nervous and all that stuff. But what we think is that SMS can be a fantastic way to actually enhance the results that you're seeing from your email program. So I want to talk about all of that. I added this off the cuff this morning. I was feeling adventurous. Sorry, Jess. But these are a couple other reasons why I love SMS as a marketer. Think about the last email newsletter that you created or the last email campaign. You got to sit there. You want it to look beautiful. You may not feel like you have the best creative or product photography, but like that's what email is all about, right? Making these beautiful templates. With text, it's so different. You don't even need an image in your text. You could, but you don't have to, right? And then think about the content of what it takes to get an email out the door. A couple paragraphs, or maybe there's like some descriptive text about a new product you're launching here and a promotion there and the about us below. Like there's a lot that goes into a newsletter content. With text, you can be informal, right? You could have a one-line text message that goes out there. So you can execute on these campaigns faster and with less creative than you ever did before. And then speed of results, right? So I shared some stats earlier, but like, I don't know about you, but when I get a text message, I look at it right away, right? That's why it's like so intimate to me as a channel. And then, I'm not going to sign up. I'm probably on 1,000 email lists. Like I'm not going to sign up for 1,000 email lists. So to me, it's more intimate, and there may be 2 or 3 or 4 brands that I engage with through text. So I think as the owners and the marketers out there, you're just going to have less competition in the inbox if you're trying text as a channel. So let's talk about some plays that you could be running for text, right? And we'll talk about like the full life cycle, because the interesting thing when you start dipping your toe in text messaging, you're starting from 0 textable contacts. All right. So remember that, even if someone like punched their phone number in, or you thought you might be collecting it, like there's some compliance stuff around text, and Privy, don't worry, we handle all of that for you automatically. So you don't have to worry, but you're probably starting from scratch on text, and that's okay. So to get started, and this is counterintuitive from what's a lot of people are talking about in the industry, but I think hands down, the fastest and easiest way to understand if people are going to join your text list is to take your existing email pop-up and add a phone field. And that's it. So that's what that looks like here. This is just a screenshot on the bottom right. It's your old email form, and you've added the phone field from Privy, which comes with like the proper text opt-in box. So you don't have to worry about, are you legally allowed to text this person? We'll handle all of that, right? Just like you've learned over the years with capturing email, incentives work very well, right? So if you're already doing that to capture email, this is a great way to kind of incentivize SMS list growth as well. And I want to share some data, because we've been working with a lot of our customers over the last year now around SMS list growth. And I think there was a myth that if you add a phone field to your email pop-up, your sign-up rates are going to plummet. They're going to go down. So this was just like in a half hour, I looked at some of the accounts that I'm working with. They're running pop-ups or a spin wheel or fly out, you name it. And you can see in the field column here, a lot of them are now asking for email and SMS. Some make SMS optional, some make it required. But if you look at the column all the way on the right, that's the sign-up rate. Look at those. Email and SMS required, 4.37%. Email and SMS optional, almost 4%. Email and SMS required, 10% on the spin win, right? So what we've found is that adding a phone field to your existing pop-up is actually going to be the easiest way for you to start understanding if your customers engage. I would add it and I would make SMS optional to start and see what those results look like. But we feel really, really good from what we're seeing in the data that you won't see a major drop off in sign up rate. And one of the big reasons for that is autofill, right? So Privy forms include autofill. And what that means is like, if your customer has ever on their phone typed in their phone number, then as soon as they click the phone field from Privy, we're going to retrieve it and they can just click it instead of typing it in. So it really is a smooth experience there. So that's one way, right? Add it to your existing email pop-up. There's a couple other tactics that we're seeing a lot of success with for our clients that I want to walk through. SMS, the way that I personally think about SMS is like, your email list is going to be big. Ideally, it should be the biggest sort of customer list you have. I think it's okay if SMS is smaller. It's a smaller subset and it's your more engaged customers, right? There should be people on your email list that don't want to be part of your SMS list, right? They shouldn't be the same size. And SMS, I think, should be focused on your most valuable customers, your repeat customers, your most engaged customers. So I think we've seen that a dedicated email to your engaged email list, like your repeat customers, inviting them to join your SMS list is a great way to think about it, right? So what we're showcasing here is two example segments. One where you're inviting your repeat customers, people that have ordered more than twice. The other is an invitation to people that have spent more than $100 with you, lifetime spend. So just trying to get the juices flowing here. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I think these are really good examples of how you might go to your existing base and invite them to join SMS. Once you've figured out who you want to kind of target, it's about thinking about, okay, why is this person going to join, right? And you could certainly say, like, I'm working with a customer right now that is not including an offer. They're just saying, hey, we tend to sell out very fast when we launch new products. You're one of our, VIP customers. Join our SMS list today so that you get first access to all of our product drops, right? That's perfect. That's an offer, right? You're getting first access, even though it's not a discount. The other is like a discount, right? We've played this game for email capture over the years. It works really well. Hey, unlock 15% off your repeat purchase when you join our SMS list. So I think it's about first identifying who you're going to go after, then thinking about why is this person going to join my SMS list, and what's going to get them over the hump. Could be a free gift with sign up, could be free shipping, it could be a discount, or it could just be like, early access, as we said. So now you know who you're going to invite, right? You know what you're going to offer them. Then it's about building an actual dedicated page that you can put in that email or put on social media to invite them to join, right? And so this is an example of a customer I'm working with right now, Cove. She's been fantastic. And she used just Privy's simple landing page builder, which is just part of the free plan. And it just has a nice image. It's got the logo, and she talks about the value of what you're going to get if you join the SMS list. And she just had the phone field at the bottom, just below the fold here, right? And so now she has all the assets she needs to go out and grow her SMS list. She's got a landing page, she's got the offer, and she knows who she's going after. The last component that's a little bit unique for SMS is what happens after sign up. So in order to stay compliant and to be able to legally have permission to text these customers, as soon as someone signs up on your phone field, they're going to be delivered a text message to their phone. Because we need to validate that was a real phone number. And they actually need to reply yes to that message to be fully opted in and legally opted into your text program. So in email capture, I used to coach around revealing a coupon code in the thank you page. That's what we call it. With text, we recommend that your thank you page actually tells them to check their text and to reply yes, either to confirm the subscription or in order to get the coupon code they just signed up for. So it's just a little bit of a tweak there, but an important kind of final step to confirming the opt-in. And then from there, this is an example of that same customer, Cove. She designed an email inside of Privy that linked to that landing page. And she sent this to her repeat customers only with an invitation to join her VIP text list. And we actually just added a template into our email template gallery to make that process easier for you if that's something you want to try. On top of that, that same customer, Cove, posted to her Instagram story and to her TikTok audience. She's huge on TikTok. I know nothing about TikTok, so no worries if you're in the same boat. But she posted, and that drove, incremental signups for her in a pretty meaningful way. So it's kind of, you have that landing page, you send it out through email. You can also post it on social media as a way to get VIP phone captures. And then she separately had the pop-up on her site that now includes the phone field. So it's kind of like a cohesive approach to growing your SMS list right there. So someone signs up. We've got a couple screenshots here. So I kind of mentioned that we'll send that text immediately after, and you can see it says reply yes or reply Y. And then after someone replies yes or replies Y, you can have the kind of after sign up text deliver the coupon code if you promise the coupon code, right? Or just say like, thanks, you're fully signed up, and we're going to notify you for early access sort of stuff. But the after sign up, it's almost like a welcome email. It would feel naked if you didn't have anything like that set up. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that starts 3 weeks from tomorrow. So I want to give you some ideas on ways to kind of use SMS to drive incremental sales over the holiday. We like to talk about building hype. I think that's super important. You want to make these people on your phone list feel like VIP, because otherwise, why are you doing it? This is the most intimate channel that you'll have. So I think, as you're building your phone list, I would 1 week before Black Friday, shoot off a text and say, hey, like this is my crew. This is my VIPs, and Black Friday is next week. So, we've got a sneak peek coming for you, and maybe you're actually giving them early access, like a lot of brands do, ahead of the email list, right? So that's a great way to use text. The next, maybe it's the Monday before Thanksgiving, you're actually reaching out with a private link that's only available to these people to shop your sale early, or a private coupon code that's only for these people to shop the sale early, right? So you can generate a unique coupon code in text messages with Privy that will get delivered, or you could, like Cove, the customer I'm working with, they actually added products to like a separate URL that wasn't public on the website. It was private only, and they included that for their SMS list. So that's like the exclusive access is here, plus the offer. And then, later in the week, I think call it Wednesday, you can remind these people that like you're going to open it up to everyone else. And so this is their last chance to shop the early access sale. And I think this year, more than others, there's supply chain issues, right? I should have asked that in the beginning of everyone who's listening, but like, I'm sure there's a lot of you that actually don't have unlimited inventory for this Black Friday. That's an important part of driving urgency, right? Especially if it's true. You don't want to lie about that, but like, if you have 1,000 units of your product, and typically on Black Friday you sell 2,000, like you are going to sell that, right? So I think making people understand that, kind of using text to conclude the early access, and if things are moving fast, you have to let them know that, right? Because this will be their last chance before you start sending your broader emails to your bigger list, sort of thing. And then I think there's the day of reminder, right? So these are people who haven't shopped your sale yet, right? And that's the cool thing with the segmentation of Privy is if you're using Privy for email and text together, like you can segment your texts so that like if you're sending 4 or 5 texts over the course of Black Friday, each subsequent text maybe is only going out to people that are on the text list and haven't ordered in 7 days, as an example. So, that group of people that you're texting goes down and down as a way for you to get confidence that you're not like going to send 10 texts to people regardless of if they buy or not. So I think the final countdown is an important one, and that's typically midday Black Friday. I do want to say that, and I'll showcase, this is kind of a nice summary of what we're suggesting as a way to potentially enhance what you're doing with email through text around VIPs. So what we're suggesting is this is 4 texts, over the course of a week that go out around Black Friday. I was catching up with a customer of ours for our podcast yesterday. We recorded, and I asked him how many emails he's going to be sending over the course of his Black Friday sale. And he kind of thinks about it as events. So there's early access, there's Black Friday, there's Cyber Monday, and then after that, there's they're doing like gifts and gifting. So he's doing 4 major sale events. And he said through email, he's sending 5 to 6 emails for each of those sales events. And this is like his 4th or 5th Black Friday. And he has learned over the years that you have to be comfortable increasing your frequency of sends to have a successful Black Friday. I believe that wholeheartedly. So if you're sending, if you expect to send 1 or 2 emails over the course of the holiday and that's it, like I'm just here to tell you, you got to ramp that up. Be smart about it and segment out people that purchase after each one. But like you should be planning to send 5 to 10 emails at least over the course of the holiday season, right? So that's on the email side. On the text side, I think you have to be a bit more careful. I don't want to get multiple texts a day from you. But I think what Jess laid out here and what we're starting to see from some of our customers is a great, very like practical plan to get a handful of texts in front of your most valuable customers. And again, if they purchase after the early access, or if they purchase after the last call for early access, you don't need to remind them day of again, right? So if someone doesn't purchase, maybe they get all 4 of these. If they do, maybe they get, 1 or 2 of these. And, we're not just here to talk about Black Friday, right? Like we all believe that SMS is the future of business to consumer message communication. Sorry, I botched that one there. A little too much caffeine today, but I want to make sure that you all are kind of thinking about other areas where text makes sense. You're launching new products, right? Just like I said, our customer Cove just did this. They launched their fall line and they wanted to go to their text community first. Back in stock. Hey, we've been sold out of our black hair clip for 3 months and it's now back in stock. Why don't you be the first to shop? Abandoned cart, classic use case here. Maybe your first message out an hour later is through text message. And then maybe 24 hours later, you dip back into email. Post-purchase, loyalty offers, just brand marketing. I had a customer that I'm working with the other day that actually used text, not to drive traffic to the site, not to drive a sale, not to drive a coupon, to send a poll asking her customers what they were looking for out of Black Friday promotions from that brand, right? Like there's so many ways to use text when it's a smaller list and when you know it's your VIP customers, right? So, I thought this was a fun page because, the other side of this is like, look at all of these, right? How long would it take you to write that, right? Like, there's no images in any of these. Look at these brands, Free People. That's a huge brand. Olive and June, Cariuma. Like, these are really, really big brands, and they're sending texts without images in a lot of cases, right? So like, there's 25 people in this room. A lot of you at the beginning of this said you are not marketing experts, and that's actually perfect for text messaging. I think, Privy is going to put in a lot of the guardrails for you. We'll give you a lot of ideas and examples. But you may find that you can execute text faster and more confidently than you have with email marketing. So if you haven't started text messaging yet, I'm super excited. Today, we actually launched a new plan from Privy. It's called our growth plan. It literally includes everything from Privy, including one-on-one phone call with our coaches. So it's all of our conversion tools to grow your list, the spin wheel, the landing pages, all the targeting rules, the cart savers, all of that. Email marketing. So any type of email you can think of, newsletters, post-purchase, welcome emails, win-backs, broadcasts, and now text marketing as well. So that's all the broadcast text, all the segmentation, cart abandonment, the after sign-up text, all the compliance stuff. It's all included out of the gate. You don't have to think about it. You can take advantage of everything. And this plan actually comes with what we call our onboarding calls. So we have a team here that's dedicated to small business coaching. They're going to understand your business. They're going to help you get set up specifically with the text messaging side. But obviously, if you have questions about email and strategies for Black Friday, I love that team. It's one of the things I'm most proud of in building this company. So I'm super excited about the growth plan. Check it out. We can drop in some contact info or when we send out the slides and the recording, you can just respond and let us know if you're interested, and we'll get you hooked up with the right people. So we covered a lot of ground. I see we can use chat for Q&A. Jess, I don't know if some have come in, but we can figure out what to do there.
Yeah, we actually have a couple questions about the growth plan. So it's like Melinda asked, looks like she's currently doing her email through Klaviyo, and would the growth plan do away with using Klaviyo for email?
Yeah. Great question. Love Klaviyo, great partners. I think our support models are very different. Privy is really focused on small and mid-sized businesses, not larger ones. And Privy's email offering, we've invested millions of dollars to really beef that up. And now SMS. So yeah, if you move to the growth plan, there's no need for Klaviyo, and you'll be able to get on the phone with your coach from Privy and get set up fully.
And then Shawana asked what the price of the growth plan is. I'm happy to jump in with that one. So the growth plan starts at $45 a month with up to 3,000 mailable contacts and 500 textable contacts. So you can send unlimited emails, have unlimited pop-ups, all included. And then for your text messages, you can send 6 times the amount of text contacts that you have in a given month. So say you have 500 text contacts, you can send up to 3,000 text messages in a month, which is pretty wild when you think about it. And as Ben was speaking to, you also get that one-on-one onboarding support to help make sure that you're getting all of that knowledge and getting those key plays into place to make sure you're set up for success.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to flip over. I want to, while we're waiting for more to come in, there's one screenshot that I want to share with everyone here that when I first started working with our first customer around SMS, just completely blew me away. And I'm going to share it here. This was internal only, and it doesn't look beautiful, so just bear with me. But this was incredible. So a lot of people, when it comes to SMS, think, oh, but my list is so small. I've got 100 contacts for text, or I've got 200 contacts versus like thousands on email. And this is that customer cove that I mentioned. So this chart shows her sales by hour on the day that we sent our first text message together. So at the time, she had 120 contacts that were textable. She had 16,000 email contacts. And so what we did together was, for her fall line, that she wanted to essentially offer early access to her text list, her VIPs. She sent that text, around 11:30 a.m. And that drove, you can see it drove about $2,000 in sales within 30 to 45 minutes. Amazing. Versus her email that she sent a few hours later to 16,000 contacts. Drove good revenue over a slightly longer period of time, but like, this was amazing. That was amazing for me. Such an important learning, because you, in text, a handful of your like best customers on text can drive more than a really, really big email list. That's what we're starting to see.
So it looks like we have a question that came in over Q&A. Glenn asked, he has a community app right now. He doesn't have that many people signed up. So he hasn't done much advertising lately. What advice would you have to move away from community to use Privy text messaging? He also asked, do you get your own phone number? The answer to that, Glenn, is yes. Each account has a unique phone number that your text will deliver from. And can you reply personally to the text that customers send over? We don't have that two-way communication built out just yet. But I know we're actively prioritizing what the SMS roadmap looks like for us over the next couple of quarters. So definitely something I can pass over to our product team to consider. I want to make sure we covered everything for you, Glenn. There were a few questions wrapped up in there. Can you just send a thumbs up over the chat in case there's anything else you're looking for? Okay, a couple others here. Glenn says, cool. Robin asked, how would you suggest using Privy to weed out contacts that aren't buying or signing up for SMS?
What was the question? How would you weed out contacts that aren't signing up for SMS?
Yeah, that aren't buying or signing up for SMS.
Yeah, I mean, I would think about, two different pools of customers, I think, again, like SMS should just be probably a small subset of your highest value customers. So I might not invite people to SMS that have not purchased before, because it may not make sense for them to be a part of your SMS list. I think for them, I would try to keep them on email and educating them with some, nurturing emails that are automated over, a couple month period, and only like be reaching out to people to join SMS after you've validated that they've made a purchase, or maybe it's 2 purchases, or they've maybe spent a certain amount of money with you.
We have a question about photos and SMS. Again, that's something that our team is looking to build out over the next couple of quarters for Privy Text. I know Ben has recently been working with merchants around this as well. Ben, you want to share that fun tactic that you've learned around this?
Yeah. So first, just so people understand, so Privy was acquired by a much larger company called Attentive Mobile. They are the leader in SMS marketing, hands down. And so we are very quickly learning from them around how to strengthen our SMS products. So things like images, videos, GIFs, two-way communication. These are all things that are very much on our radar. And, we've spun up an engineering team to accelerate development on this with some investment from attentive, which is fantastic. So I think one thing that you can like kind of toy around with, even until Privy rolls out images and text, which is probably beginning of the year. A lot of phones, the way they receive a link in the phone is to kind of preview a URL. And there's like an image preview associated with each URL. And if you're on Shopify or BigCommerce or Wix in the settings of your store, it lets you kind of choose what that image is. And so if you're including a link in your outbound message from Privy Text, a lot of the phones are going to actually load an image preview. So that's kind of a nice kind of workaround that we've seen there. I'm seeing some good questions in chat. Mike, I assume this is compatible with BigCommerce. Yeah, Mike. So if you're maybe you're already using Privy today, we have a very solid integration with BigCommerce on the email side, like coupons, segmentation by like who has ordered, who has not. All that same stuff will work for Privy Text for BigCommerce as well. There's a follow-up here on shifting community to Privy. I think it's important to understand that like community is separate than an audience on SMS or email. If you already have a strong community that is thriving and those people are talking amongst themselves, I wouldn't consider moving them to email or text as like a solution for that. I would think about it as maybe like an entry point before you invite people to community. Like community and just one-way messages is very different. So can you connect your own phone number to Privy? Not yet. That's a great feature request, is to be able to dictate where replies go. So we'll certainly pass that along to the team. Two-way messaging and conversational messaging is a big focus area for us, though. So we're going to make some progress there. I now use Yotpo for SMS. Can I link Privy to Yotpo? Or so we don't. It would be instead of Yotpo for SMS. If you decided to use Privy, you wouldn't end up using both. And typically, when you transfer phone numbers, you're going to need to send them a text to like a Privy landing page asking them to confirm that they still want to be a part of it. And that's for compliance reasons. Even if Yotpo has permission to text them for you, we want to make sure that we really do, because that's really to prevent you from potentially getting into trouble. What about an email to promote the SMS as well? Yeah, so great ones. That's something we're encouraging pretty much every customer to do, is to think about who within their existing email list they should invite to SMS. And so you could certainly do that if you're using Privy for email. You could also do that if you're not using Privy for email and you're using someone else. You would just use a Privy landing page, which is available inside the product, to design a simple landing page that has the phone capture in it. And when you publish a landing page from Privy, it's going to spit out a link that you can copy and include in that email. Mike Hernandez says, will this replace my Chimp mail program? Yeah, absolutely. So Privy email launched when Shopify and MailChimp broke up. A lot of our customers said, hey, how come we can't just do it here? Why do we still need MailChimp? We've invested millions in that product over the last couple of years. We've got over 10,000 paying customers that use Privy for email now. And it's a product that we're super proud of. So that's a big part of why we're launching the growth plan today. We really pride ourselves in support and how we work with our customers. And we think no one can do it better than us for e-commerce, for small businesses. And that's what the growth plan's about. One invoice, one user interface, all your customers in one spot, and one great customer support experience that includes a phone call specific to getting set up on the plan.
Thanks everyone for being so active in the chat. We still have, some time here, so please feel free to drop in any additional questions you might have. Is the add images to link setting in 6 or Privy? Wix or Privy.
That would be inside of Wix, there's probably a setting that's sometimes it's called it's kind of a funny word, unfurl image, or it could be website image preview, something like that. You might have to ask Wix. Gene, what sort of website are you on? I see your question coming in. Are you on Wix or BigCommerce or Shopify? Oh, interesting. So yeah, for Shopify and for BigCommerce and for Wix, actually, we do report on revenue through your activities sent through Privy. That could, if you're not seeing that, that could just mean that the integration with Shopify is not configured properly. So, if you want to reply to the email that we send out later today with your account info or support@privy.com, they can take a look for you.
Yes, Gina is just going to say, I can get you connected to our support team to take a closer look on the back end and see what would be going on there.
But you shouldn't have to install a pixel or anything like that. We should be doing that automatically for you. Great. November 4th, we have a ton of Black Friday programming in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if anyone listens to the podcast, but all of next week, every single day, we're doing a new kind of topic around tips and tricks, ideas for Black Friday. Check that out, Ecommerce Marketing School. That's our podcast. We're going to be doing more master classes, just like the one you have here. So privy.com/masterclass. We've got a ton of trainings coming up these next few weeks. And then, our blog and all that good stuff. So next couple of weeks, hopefully you don't get sick of it, but it's all really about giving you ideas that you can execute last minute.
I have one more question dropped in the chat. If we want to get to that quickly for Melinda. Any suggestions for someone new who's trying to get more traffic and sales to their site?
Oh, wow. That's
a loaded one.
That is. Yeah. I mean, Melinda, I think the best thing that you could do, I don't know what kind of product you sell, but I'll just give you an example. Customer that I love, Vivian K. She sells hair wigs for African Americans. And the way that she jump-started sales was looking for Facebook groups online about her target customer. And she would pop in there and she would first and foremost be a member of the community. And when people started talking about hair and hair products and wigs especially, she would be there and she would kind of introduce herself and tell people what she's working on. And she wasn't paying for ads. She wasn't doing a ton of email marketing or anything like that yet. She was just finding pockets of her target customer online and trying to add value in those communities where they exist. So that could be especially you, if you sell natural products like goat milk soap, there's tons of communities online, farmer market, Facebook groups, different things like that could be really relevant. And you got to add value before you kind of try to extract and sell. But that's a play that worked for me. I was in the Shopify Entrepreneurs Facebook group for years. I've seen it work for a lot of our customers. So try to find active communities, be a strong member, surface where relevant. And then, as the word starts to spread, that's where programs like Facebook ads or email marketing and text marketing will really help. Great. All right. Thanks, everyone. This was awesome. Super excited and hope it's the best holiday season yet.
Thanks for joining, everyone.